Okay, we have seen all the arithmetic operators in the last session. Okay, so in today's session, we will explore one more type of the operator, that is relational, or you can call comparison operator. Okay, so we have so many relational and comparison operators in JavaScript. Examples, we have something like greater than, we have less than, we have greater than equals to, we have less than equals to, okay, we have double equals to, and we have triple equals to. So these are the different comparison and relational operator. And not equals to, one of the very confusion operator, that is not equals to. Lot of people get confused with this operator, not equal to. Okay, and very important operator like double equals to and triple equals to. In lot of interviews, you will find they will ask you what is the difference between the double equals to and triple equals to. In some interviews, they can ask you what is the difference between single equals to, double equals to, and triple equals to. So this kind of interview questions can come whenever you guys go and attend any kind of interview. They are going to ask this kind of questions. Okay, so when it comes to relational or comparison operators, you will find a lot of questions. Like in lot of interviews, they will ask what is the difference between double equals to and triple equals to. This is very commonly or most widely asked interview question. And apart from that, they can ask what is the difference between single equals to, double equals to, triple equals to. Okay, so what is the purpose of this relational or comparison operators? So using these operators, we can compare two operands. We can compare the values of two operands. So using this operator, we can compare values of two operands. Yesterday we have seen, right, what are operands? So what we can do means using this operator, we can compare the values of two operands. Okay, for example, if you have two operands here, like let's suppose I have two variables here where x equals to 100 and where y equals to 200. Now I just want to compare this both the variables, whether x is greater than y or y is greater than x, or x is less than y or y is less than x, or x equals to y or x is greater than or equals to y. Like this, I want to do comparison. So whenever you want to do the comparison between two operands, then we can take the help of relational or comparison operators. Okay, so just straightforward, we will go to our code. Yeah, so here I'm just creating a file, something called comparison.js. Now let's suppose I have two variables where num1 equals to some value I'm giving 100, where num2 I'm just giving some value 200. Now I just want to compare num1 and num2. So I can use console.log so that I can print the value. So num1 greater than num2. I'm just writing one condition here. Num1 greater than num2. So whenever you compare two operands like this, finally it will return one Boolean value. So this comparison operator will return you Boolean value. So here we are saying that num1 is greater than num2. So internally what it will do, it will evaluate this expression something like this: 100 greater than 200. Now tell me, 100 is greater than 200. Is it true or false? 100 greater than 200. Is it true or false? If I say 100 is greater than 200, it's like false, right? So it is going to return one Boolean value. Boolean value means either it will return false or it will return true. Now, if I just execute it, node space comparison, click on enter. Now see, it is returning false. Now, if I say here less than, if I save it and if I just execute it, I got 2 because here num1 is less than num2, right? 100 is less than 200. So in that case, it will return 2. It will return 2. So like this, you can just write lot of conditions and you can compare two operands. So do you guys have the idea about what do you mean by greater than or equals to? So whenever we use this greater than equals to, like suppose if I'm using x and y, I'm writing here x greater than equals to y. It means first it will check the greater than condition. First it will check whether x is greater than y or not. If this condition returns true, then it will print directly true. It will print directly true. If it returns false, then it will check the next condition. What is that? X value is equals to y or not. It will check x is equals to y or not. If this returns true, then it will return true. If it returns false, then it will return false only. So here it will check both the conditions. First it will check greater than, then it will check equals to. Same with your x less than equals to y. Here also the same thing. X less, first it will check the less than condition. If it returns true, then it will directly give the answer true. If it returns false, then it will check the next condition. If that condition is also false, then only it will return the false. Or else whatever result it will get, it will return that result. So remember, comparison or relational operators always return the Boolean value. They always return a Boolean value. So whenever you are using relational or comparison operator, always they will return one Boolean value, either true or false. Okay. Yeah. Now, the most important thing what we have to learn in comparison operator is the difference between double equals to and triple equals to. Okay, let's try to understand this. Now here I will just comment this part. I will comment this as well. Now suppose I have two variables where x equals to something like 100, where y equals to I have 100 but in double quotes. Now can you tell me what is the data type of x? What will be the data type of x? What is the data type of x? Yes, the data type of x is number. What is the data type of y? What is the data type of y? Yes, it is a string. Now in this case, if I just compare these two values, okay, x double equals to y. If I say x double equals to y, in this case, it will return me the value true. Why? Because here x value is 100 and y value is also 100. So values are same. So it should return me true. So let's try whether it will return true or not. So if I execute here, node comparison, now see it is returning me true. It is returning me true. Now if I do console.log x triple equals to y, in this case, it will return me false. Here also it is comparing two values only. It is comparing x and y. But in this case, it will return me false. It will return me false. See, it is returning me false here. So double equals to is returning true. Triple equals to is returning me false. Let's suppose if I assign number type here. If I assign number type here, let's suppose x and y both are number type. In that case, it will return me true. It will return me true. Here also true, and here also it will return me true. Now, by seeing this example, can you guys guess what is the difference between double equals to and triple equals to? What is the difference between double equals to and triple equals to? By seeing this example, can you guys guess? Okay, so let me just write one more time here so that you will have both the example. This time here, I will just give A and B. And here I will make this 100 in the form of string. Here it should be the string type. Here it will return false. Here A equals to B. Here A triple equals to B. Okay, now if I execute, I got here true, true for XY, and for AB, I got true, false. I got true, false. So by seeing these two examples, can you guys guess what might be the difference between double equals to and triple equals to? Okay, just take 1 minute of your time and just try to analyze what might be the difference between double equals to and triple equals to. Yeah. So the difference is when you use double equals to, it is just checking the value. So X value is 100. Yes. Y value is 100. Yes. It is not checking the data type. It is just checking the value and it is returning us true. In triple equals to, it will check the value plus it will check the data type also. Value should be equal and even data type should be equal. Data type should be equal. So here see, here both the value is 100, 100 and data type is also number. That is the reason it is returning true. But in this example, values are equal 100, 100, but the data type is different. Here the data type is number, here the data type is string. That is the reason it is returning false. It is returning false. Okay, this is what the answer each and everyone will give. But actually, this is not the answer. If you go anywhere, everybody will give this kind of answer. What they will say, in double equals to, it will just check the value. In triple equals to, it will check the value and data type. Answer is completely wrong. Actually, in double equals to also, it will check value and data type. In triple equals to also, it will check value and data type. But before checking, it will do some operation. It will perform some operation internally. What is that operation? You guys have to find the answer. So let me know in tomorrow's session what operation it will perform. If you guys are giving the answer, here in double equals to, it will just check the value. In triple equals to, it will check the value and data type. The answer is wrong. Answer is completely wrong. This is not the answer what we have to give. In both the scenarios, it will check the value also and data type also. Value also, data type also. But there is a small difference. There is one small difference. So before checking value and data type, it will do some kind of operation. And what is that operation? You guys have to find the answer. Just do the research and try to find the answer and come up with the tomorrow's session. So in tomorrow's session, I will ask in case if someone is able to reply, great. If not, I will explain that. Okay, this is very, very important. So anyways, I will explain. But before I explain, I just want you guys to go and research it. I just want you guys to go and do the research on it. Very, 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 very important difference. Lot of time you will find this kind of question in the interviews. So let me see if anyone is replied. I think few of you have already replied. Nice to see that. A few already replied, but why did you reply so late? I was expecting little early the answer from you guys. I think there are 3-4 students who replied it. Nice. But I want just remaining people just go and do research. Just go and do the research. Don't give this answer, okay? Whenever someone asks you what is the difference between double equals to triple equals to, don't give the answer like it is used for checking values, it is used for checking values and data type. Okay, don't give that answer. So just do the research, you will get what is the appropriate answer for it. Okay, now one more confusion operator is not equals to. Not equals to. Okay, so I'm just commenting all this now. Now, if I go back here, if I just add var a equals to 10, if I do var b equals to 20, and if I say console.log of a not equals to b, so can you guys tell me what it will return? In this case, what it will return? I'm saying that a is not equals to b. I'm saying a is not equals to b. Okay, so the statement is a not equals to b. That is true, right? 10 is not equals to 20. That is true. So it will return true. It will return true. Now, if I go back here and if I just execute it, it will return true. Suppose if I have 10, 10, if the values are 10, 10, in this case, what it will return? I'm saying that a is not equals to b. So internally, I'm saying that 10 is not equals to 10. So is this true? Is this statement true? 10 not equals to 10? No. So statement is wrong, right? So it should return false. Okay, little bit tricky. So just give a attention on this particular operator. So it is a false. Okay, so make sure whenever you are encountering with this not equals to operator, just give little bit more attention on that. Okay, because it will confuse. So I'm saying a not equals to b, 10 not equals to 10. That is wrong, right? Because 10 is equals to 10. So it will return false. So this is your comparison operators. In the same way, we have one more important operator, that is logical operator. So there are 3 logical operators. The first logical operator is and, one more is or, one more is not. Okay, we have totally 3 logical operators, and or not. And we represent like this, or we represent something like this, not we represent something like this. So anybody knows what is the use of logical operators? Why do we use logical operators? Why do we use logical operators? Logical operators are used to do, yes, logical operators are used to check 2 statements or 2 Boolean values. It can be used for decision making also. It can be used for decision making. Some kind of decision if you want to do, then you can take the help of logical operators. So logical operators are used to check two statements or two Boolean values. Two Boolean values. Okay. Example, something like this. Let's suppose I have two Boolean values. One is true and true. So here what we are doing here, we are checking two Boolean value. So whenever it checks two Boolean value, if the left side and right side both are true, then the final result it will return as a true. Suppose if your left side value is false and right side value is true, in that case it will return false. If your left side value is false, sorry, left side value is true, right side value is false, then also it will return false. If both are false, then it will return final value as a false only. So AND operator can be used to check like this two Boolean values. This is the one way. Second way, we can check two statements also. We can check two statements also. For example, if I have three variables here, where x equals to 10, where y equals to 20, where z equals to 30. Now I can just write two statements. I can check that two statements. So here I can say x greater than y and x less than y. Maybe x less than z. So I can like this check two statements. So first, these two statements will get evaluated. First, it will check x greater than y, 10 greater than 20. It will return false. And operator. Then it will check x less than z. Here it will return true. And final answer will be here false. Final answer will be here false. So AND operator we can use to check like this two Boolean values, or we can check two statements. Two statements. And based on the final answers, it will return you the final output. So these are the conditions. So if both are true, then only it will return true. In all the cases, in all the remaining cases, it will return false, false, false. This is how your AND operator is going to work. Exact opposite to your AND operator, you have OR operator. Opposite to AND operator, we have OR operator. Now this OR operator is used to check both the Boolean values again. So here also true or true. Then the final answer will be here true only. If the right side and left side both are true, then the final answer will be true. If right side is true, left side is false, in that case also final answer will be true. If left side is false, right side is true, in that case also it will return true. If both are false, then only it will return false. Then only it will return false. So this is how your OR operator is going to work. Exact opposite to your AND operator. So in the three scenarios, OR operator will return the value as a true. And in the one scenario, it will return the value as a false. When it comes to AND operator, in three scenarios, it will return false. In one scenario, it will return true. Okay. So this is how your AND OR operator are going to work. So let's take one use case. Let's take one use case to understand it. So here I'm just taking one task. Now let's suppose I have one array. Okay, something like details. In that array, I have multiple objects. Object 1, object 2, object 3, object 4. Now in all the objects, let's suppose I have some mobile information like brand name. I have a price. Apart from that, maybe model name. So like this, I have the information in each and every object. Okay, here let's suppose I have Vivo. And let's suppose the price is something like 40,000. And here the model name is something like Vivo A23 or maybe A27. I have one more, same brand. With the value 23. And here maybe something like 21. Okay, I have some information in my array. Now I want to filter. Let's suppose I have one more data. Let me take two more objects here. Here something like Samsung. Here also Samsung. Here maybe something like 80. Here I will just add some model name. Something like Samsung A75. And here something like Samsung Galaxy. Maybe something like 80,000. Maybe something like 1 lakh. Okay, now let's suppose I have some array. I have one array in that I am maintaining some data, some mobile information. Now I want to filter this array in such a way that I want to print only those mobiles whose brand are Apple and Samsung. In my console, I want to print only those mobile information whose brand names are Samsung and Apple. So tell me, if you want to filter your array, then which function we will take? We will take the help of which function? In this case, we will take the help of which function? Yes, we can take the help of filter function, right? So can I say details dot filter? Filter will take one callback function. Okay. Now this filter function should return some Boolean value. And this callback function will take two parameters. I'm just taking only one parameter. I don't require second parameter, so I'm skipping it. And finally, this filter will return something. It will return something like filtered data. Again, which will be the array type. Nothing but which will be in the array format. Now here I can do console.log of filter data. Now here I need to write the condition. I need to check each and every data. Whether it belongs to Samsung or Apple. Okay. If it belongs to anyone, then you have to print. You have to print in the console, or else you should not print. So in that case, can I do something like this? Can I check here element dot brand? This should be equals to Apple or element dot brand, it should be equals to Samsung. So I am checking one condition. Either this condition should be true or this condition should be true, or both the conditions should be true. If this condition is true, then only whatever data you will store here, that data you return it. You return and store here. Now see here we are using and this or operator. Basically we are using here or operator. And here simply we can execute it. Node task. Okay, let me save it and let me re-execute it. Now see, it is printing only those mobile information whose brands are Apple and Samsung. Whose brands are Apple and Samsung. Apple and Samsung. Now let's suppose I want to print all those mobiles whose brand name is Apple or Samsung and whose price should be greater than 80,000. Okay, so now I want to print all the mobile details whose brand should be either Apple or Samsung and price should be greater than 80,000. So can you guys find the answer for this? I will give you code. I will give you this code. You just write the logic and try to print it. Okay, I will give you this code. So let me just go to the browser, open code share. Yeah, now just copy this entire code and write the logic in such a way that you have to print those mobile information whose brand is Apple or Samsung. That is the first condition. Second condition is price should be greater than 80,000. Price of that mobile should be greater than 80,000. So I have given the code. Just click on that link, copy that code, paste in your VS Code and just write the logic. And let me know on the chat whether you are able to find out the answer or not. So you have to print only those mobile details whose price is greater than 80,000 and it belongs to Apple or Samsung brand. Either Apple or Samsung. So this is how in your real time you will get the scenarios, right? So you will create one checkboxes. You will write all the mobile brands. Now if user checks any checkbox, you have to show only those mobile information. So this is what we do on the Flipkart and Amazon, right? So same thing here also we are doing. We just don't have the UI. We are just trying to write the logic. Once done, let me know on the chat, guys. So let me see how many of you are able to do. Nice. I just got one answer. Nice. I just got few answers, guys. I'm expecting few more answers. Yeah. So here we have to check something like this, right? First, in my element, I have to pick brand. Whatever brand I will pick, that brand should be equals to Apple. It should be equals to Apple, double equals to Apple. Or if it is not equals to Apple, then you have to check element dot brand should be equals to Samsung. Am I right? First, you have to check your element dot brand should be equals to Apple, or element dot brand should be equals to Samsung. Any one of these values should be true. After that, one more condition what you have to check. It's mandatory, so we have to use AND operator. If it was optional, then we might have used OR operator. Now it is mandatory to check one more condition. So for that, we are using AND operator. Again, here we are checking that element dot price should be greater than 80,000. So first, so you can group these two conditions as one entire thing. So how to group means simply you can add here this circular brackets. So here you first check element dot brand is equals to Apple, or element dot brand is equal to Samsung. So anyone should return true. If it returns true, then AND operator, then check element dot price should be greater than 80,000. If this condition also returns true, then only final answer will return true. Then only final answer should return. So this is what the condition we have to write. So if I go back here, okay, here if I check, if I save it, now let me just execute it. Now see, it is returning only two mobile information. So both either they are Apple or Samsung, and the price, if you compare, both are greater than 80,000. Both are greater than 80,000. So like this, sometimes we have to write certain conditions. So while writing these conditions, we need this comparison operators and logical operators. We have to take the help of this comparison and logical operators to write some complex conditions. So in your real time, whenever you are developing an application, a lot of time you will get a scenarios where you have to write certain conditions, because every user will have some kind of query. They will add some kind of conditions. So we have to implement those conditions. So to implement those conditions, we require the help of these logical operators and comparison operators. That is the only reason why this comparison logical operators are very, 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 very important. They will help us to write very complex logics. Or we can say very complex conditions. It will help us to write very complex conditions. Okay. So this is what, this is how we are going to write the things. Yeah. If you have any doubts, feel free to ping on the chat. So almost 4 or 5 people gave the answers. Okay, slowly, when you start doing the things, when you start practicing the things, then you will understand how to write the conditions, how to develop the logics, all those things you will understand. But before we write the logics, we should know the concepts. We should know the concepts of the particular programming language. If you don't know the concepts, you cannot write logics. If you don't know the concept, if you don't know how to do that thing in that programming language, how can you write the logics? So to write logics, first of all, you have to know the concepts. And that is what we are doing here. We are exploring the concepts. We are exploring the concepts. And these array methods are very important, guys. So whenever you get a time, try to learn all the array methods as much as possible. Try to take daily 2 array methods, practice it and work on that. And just keep revising these things. Keep revising the things. If you don't revise, you will forget. Not only you, even if I don't revise, I will also forget. Even I have like 8 years of experience, I need to revise the things. If I don't revise, I will forget. So that's the common problem for everyone. So always keep revising the things, keep practicing the things. So like we are learning now JavaScript, right? If you forget to practice HTML, CSS, very soon you will forget the things. And interviews, we cannot guess, right? At any point of time, interview can come. Suddenly someone can say you, okay, there is tomorrow interview. Can you go and give that interview? Now suddenly someone tells that tomorrow is an interview. Now you cannot sit today whole night to prepare it, right? Even if you do like that, whatever concepts you know, you will forget those concepts also. So always be ready for your interviews. If someone asks you, okay, can you give the interview after 1 hour? You should say, yes, I am ready to give. So whatever you have learned, you have to practice it. Make sure you know each and everything, whatever we have learned till now. So this is how, just keep your attitude. I'm pretty sure that everybody will get the job very soon. You will get the job, and that too very good jobs you will get. Just do a little bit hard work and everybody will get the job. Remember, programming is nothing but giving the instructions to the machine. Programming is nothing but giving the instructions to machine. Now, if you want to give the instructions to machine, you have to interact with machine, right? You have to interact with machine. And you have to interact with machine in such a way that they understand. So for that, we are using JavaScript language. Now this JavaScript language will be converted into machine code. And once the machine code is, once your code is converted into machine code, your machine will understand what to do. Your machine will understand what to do. So think in that way. Programming is nothing but giving instructions. Giving instructions. So to give instructions, we have to learn language. And that is what we are doing here. We are learning one language. So from tomorrow, I am starting with Node.js. So Node.js, Express.js, and MongoDB. In case if you guys are interested to learn MongoDB, Express.js or MongoDB, Node.js, Express or MongoDB, then you guys can attend tomorrow at 9 AM. Already started with React. So there are a lot of people, like around 40 plus people are attending React. So initially I have started with JavaScript. We are just exploring advanced concepts of JavaScript for a week. After that, we will start with React. Maybe by next Monday, I will start with React concepts. This entire week, we are exploring advanced concepts of JavaScript. So today we just explored about DOM. Anyways, DOM I will explain in our sessions also. Okay. Yeah. So now we know the operators like arithmetic. We know the operators like logical. We know the operators like comparison. Apart from that, we know few operators from the special operators. Like we know what is type of, we know what is delete. These are the two special operators we are aware about. Okay, now in coming sessions, we will learn slowly remaining special operators. And there are two operators which are pending, assignment operator and bitwise operator. For that, I will give you one video, one recorded video I will provide. By tomorrow, I will provide one recorded video on bitwise operator and assignment operator. So you guys can just go through those operators. Okay, the next topic, what we are going to explore is selection statement or control statement. So there are few statements in our React called selection in JavaScript called selection statements or control statements. Using these statements, we can control the flow of execution. Using selection or control statement, we can control the flow of our execution. What do you mean by controlling the flow of execution? If you want, you can execute certain set of statements. If you want, you can restrict to execute or to run that certain set of statements. Or you can execute certain state of statements on certain condition only. If certain condition meets, then only those lines should get executed. If that condition doesn't meet, then that line should not get executed. So like this, we can control our program. We can control the execution of our program. We can control the execution of the program using control or selection statement. We can execute certain statements, certain set of statements only if certain condition become true. So we can control the execution of our program using control statement. That is one use case. Or else we can execute certain set of statements only if certain condition became true. Or else we can skip the execution of those statements. So how to do that? For that, we will be using selection or control statements. So there are totally 4 selection statements or 4 control statements. And those 4 selection or control statements are if, else, if, and switch. If, else, if, and switch. These are the 4 control statements. Okay, so let's come back here. Selection statement: if, else, if, and switch. So first, let's see how if will work. So the syntax of if will be something like this. If, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, open curly brace, close curly brace. This is the syntax of your if. And inside this parenthesis, we will write some condition. And inside this curly braces, we will add some statements. Whatever statements you want to add, you can add. Okay. Now, if this condition became true, whatever condition you will write, if that condition returns true, then only whatever statements you have written inside this block, those statements will execute. When the statements will execute inside this block, if the condition, whatever you have written in this parenthesis, if it becomes true. If this condition returns false, then whatever you will write inside this curly braces, those statements will not execute. Those statements will not execute. Those statements will not execute. Okay. So this is how we can control the flow of our program. So we can execute these statements only if this condition became true. If that condition became false, we can restrict the execution of those statements. So let's see one example. So here I am just creating one if.js. Let's suppose I am creating one function find number is even. I want to write the function to find out whether the number is even or not. Okay. So whenever I call this function, I want to pass the number. Suppose I am passing here 101. If I am passing one argument, I need to take one parameter. So here I am taking one parameter. Now here I want to write one condition such a way that I want to check whatever data I will store here, it is even number or not. If it is even number, then I just want to print in the console, the given number is even. If it is not even number, I don't want to print anything. I don't want to print anything. So what can I do for that? Simply, I can write here one if block. Inside this, I can write one condition. I will take this number, nothing but this num. This num I will divide with 2 using modulus. If my remainder is equals to 0, if my remainder is equals to 0, then I can conclude that this number is even number. In that case, simply I will write here console.log given number is a even number. Given number is a even number. So what I did, I just created one function to check whether the given number is even or not. So for that, I just need to write the condition. First of all, I need to check the given number is even or not. How to check any number is even or not? We can divide that number by 2. If the remainder is 0, then we can conclude that given number is even. If the remainder is non-zero, then we can conclude that the remainder, that number is not even. So for that, I am just writing one condition. This number I am dividing with 2. Modulus will return the remainder. Whatever remainder will return, if that is equals to 0, if that is equals to 0, in that case, I can say the given number is even. If this condition became false, in that case, this statement will never execute. This statement will never execute. Now just see here. Node if. Now see, nothing is getting executed. Why? Because this line did not execute. Why? Because this condition became false. Here we are passing 101. So 101 percentile, this modulus 2, it will return remainder as a 1. 1 not equals to, 1 equals to 0. Condition became false. Whenever condition became false, this line will not execute. Suppose if I pass here 100, now it will return that statement. Given number is a even. Given number is a even. Now here if I pass 56, and execute it. Here also it is giving me given number is even. If I pass 57, nothing will print. It will not print anything. So like this, we can write any number of if blocks. We can write any number of if statements inside our function. Inside our function or inside our JavaScript file, we can write any number of if statements. We can write any number of if statements. Inside this if statements, we can write any number of lines. We can write any number of lines. So this is how your if or selection statement, control statement, if is going to work. Did you understood how if is working? Anyone have any doubts or any confusion? Yeah, is my voice clear, guys, or is there any issue with my voice? Anybody is facing any issue with my voice? Swami Naidu, you can check from your end. Guys who are facing the issues, can you check from your end? Okay. If there is any issue with my voice, then everybody will face issue. If someone is facing, someone is not facing, means you have to check from your end. Okay. Yeah. So this is how it is going to work. So in tomorrow's session, we will just explore this else. We will explore else if and switch. Once we have done with this, then we will let's explore loops. Let's explore loops. So we have totally 5 loops in JavaScript. We have while, do while, for, we have for in, we have for off. So we will explore all these loops. So once we have done with these loops, means we have done with the basics of JavaScript. Now we can enter into the advanced concepts of JavaScript. We will start with DOM first. What is DOM? What do you mean by DOM manipulation? How can you integrate HTML and JavaScript? That everything we will see in the DOM topic, document object model. Yeah, that's all, guys. You can leave if you don't have any doubts. Remaining things we will explore in tomorrow's session. Yeah, tomorrow I will provide that recorded video of bitwise and assignment operator. I need to check exactly where I have kept. So I will provide by tomorrow. Array methods you can find out on MDN. Okay, I have already shared that link, right? Yeah, here you can find it, all the array methods.